Back to I Wonder Questions with Sarah. I am a business owner, wife, and mom of four in a neurodivergent household. This is part 4 of my series on neurodivergent disorders, and I'm going to be talking about ADHD in adult females. So if you find this information helpful and you would like to follow the series, please like and subscribe. You can also go back and watch the other videos in the series. I do also have a free download that you can find in the description. So, the latest data that we have from studies shows that women with ADHD go undiagnosed into adulthood in an astonishing 50 to 75%. As I discussed in my last video on ADHD in young girls, my child didn't receive a diagnosis until the age of 14. And in that process, their doctors, when we would have conversations, just would make these passing comments about, oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah for you and your mom's ADHD. And I was like, wait, what? Like, I had never had a diagnosis, never had it even mentioned to me. So I started diving in to try and learn what ADHD looked like for them and in adult women, and so much started to make sense. The older that I got and the larger my family grew, the more managing household responsibilities, work demands, the care of children, and social obligations began to feel overwhelming. I would be able to excel in one area, but then another would fall apart. If I was kicking ass in my business and work, then the house was a disaster. If I was really focused on keeping up on the house and feeding everybody, I'd fall behind in my business. I could not find an equilibrium, a balance in any way. It was all or nothing. I could pick one or two things, but then the other 3 or 4 just had to fall by the wayside. So I'm going to share some of the ways that I and other women have reported that they've struggled as an adult female with ADHD, and some things that have helped as well. So hopefully they can help you too. So time management. Women with ADHD often struggle with time management, finding it really hard to prioritize tasks and meet deadlines. The list of to-dos as an adult feels unending, and figuring out what to do first, what is most important, can feel impossible. So my hack right now in life is what I call a done for today list. On that list is work and personal. There are 3 things that I know I could probably reasonably accomplish in a day. So 3 things go on to each of those lists. And then anything else that I know is still a to do gets put on for the next day to be considered. At that point, is it actually important for that day? Can it wait? And that has really helped with the feelings of overwhelm. Another one is that when I am in a task is setting a timer for a certain amount, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it is, setting a timer. And when the timer goes off, that's it, the end, walking away. It relieves that pressure of something just kind of looming. Like, I designated some time, I did what I could, now I'm moving on. So professionally at work or in business, difficulty with structure and again, time management can lead to missed deadlines, reduced productivity, and challenges in overall advancement towards goals. For me, I have found that the key is that my workplace needs to allow me to physically move. As you can see, I cannot sit still. It's just not how I work. And to be able to do multiple tasks as part of my role. I like to wear those different hats. I like to go from thing to thing. And that really has been key to my overall happiness and fulfillment. And then one of the other things for me is that I teach fitness classes. This allows me to physically move in a targeted way that gets my energy out. And that overall helps my sense of calm and balance and focus. Organization, super common as a woman with ADHD. as an adult to really struggle with organization. You may have cluttered spaces around your home, maybe that the whole home is cluttered. You may really struggle to keep track of important items, constantly losing things. You want a system, but you don't know how to actually implement one that will work. For me, my hack, less is more. I really started to learn about minimalism about 10 to 12 years ago and try to embrace that as much as I can in a household of six. With those who don't, I have children who love their things because their things remind them of memories. I am not going to do anything to remove those things. But for me, I can control how much is in my kitchen. I can control how much is in my closet. And that really helps. The less things there are, the less there is to have to organize. Um, Emotional regulation. You may experience those intense emotions and have difficulty regulating them, leading to mood swings and heightened stress, feeling on edge and unsure how or why everything is just so upsetting, and then feeling guilty when you lash out. For me, therapy and meditation has been really, really helpful. Seriously, 5 minutes in the morning of just focusing on breathing, feeling my body, and when my mind starts to run, acknowledge it, and then just get back to breathing in, breathing out. It makes a huge difference in how my overall day feels moving forward. Tuning in through meditation and then throughout the rest of your day is a lot easier when you start to feel uncomfortable physically, because maybe there's too much noise, things are too loud, or your clothes are pinching you, or something is just bothering you physically. Your stomach is kind of hurting, but you're overwhelmed, so you're not paying attention. Or if emotionally you're just having an off day, the faster you can turn in, better the overall results have been on how I handle that so that I don't end up in a meltdown or blowing up. So focus and attention, obviously ADHD, going to have some issues there. Sustaining attention on tasks can be really challenging, which then leads to frequent distractions and lots of unfinished projects. Often you might start cleaning an area of your house and then you lose motivation midway through, which then leads to an even larger mess. Or maybe you are one of those that starts endless projects or crafts, but rarely finishes them. For me, the hack has been that in order to be productive, I really have to limit the distractions, one, and the options. So I can't work from home when my kids are roaming around. I can hear them opening cupboards. If they're playing video games or watching shows or getting into some sort of argument, there's no way. I can't tune that out. I have to close myself into a quiet space like I am now, or leave the house to really get things done. And then when it comes to those projects and creative things, I have learned to only buy what I need for that one project, no matter what other pretty thing I see when I'm out and about that I could use for later. I only buy what I need for the current project I want to get done. And that really helps to limit the, getting sidetracked, those rabbit trails. Social interactions, impulsivity and inattentiveness obviously can have a negative effect in social interactions. So women with ADHD, you might tend to interrupt conversations or miss social cues, which of course then leads to misunderstandings. Or you might find that you get really excited when you feel like you connect to someone, and then you may overwhelm them with your enthusiasm. For me, I have found that focusing on actually asking questions and then trying to remember part of that and kind of tuck it away in my brain as an interesting fact really helps, so that the next time I have a chance to talk with this person, they know I was actually really paying attention and listening to them, so that I can build that relationship up when I ask about that thing. And then also trying to remember that when I'm having a conversation, if 5 different things pop into my head that I could tell them about or that I could share, to try to breathe and remember to just pick 1 or maybe 2 things rather than just blurting everything out because I'm excited about connecting. Self-esteem, chronic difficulties, and perceived failures can, of course, impact feelings of shame. Everyone else seems to have it together. And we're over here trying our hardest, and we still are perpetually behind. My hack has been letting go of comparison and perfection. Getting a diagnosis has made being kind to myself so much easier. I can set myself up now for success by knowing my limitations, and what my struggles are so that I can then be strategic in how I move forward. Understanding that my brain operates differently and that I need to focus daily on something getting done over it being perfect, because otherwise I do get stuck in that overwhelm loop and then nothing actually gets taken care of. And knowing at this age in my 40s that I have ADHD has been a huge benefit to caring for myself, caring for my family, and understanding how I can still achieve what I want in my life. I've also had so many conversations with other adult women, coworkers, and friends who felt the same, that once they got the diagnosis as an adult woman, it actually really lifted a lot of weight and was the way forward. So, thank you so much again for tuning in. If you would like that free download about neurodivergent conditions and some of the things that I use here for myself and for our family, you can find that in the video description. There's also a couple other videos in this series that you can find at my channel. If you like the video, please do go ahead and subscribe, give it a little love, and I'm wishing you so much wellness today.